Rockheads, Helen here at Carolina Rebellion. Super excited. Probably an interview I was looking most forward to this whole entire weekend with Zacky Vengeance from Avenged Sevenfold. So thank you so much for taking some time and
it's my pleasure.
So I've got a couple questions, and actually there is one guy, listener of ours, who's just such a huge fan, and he actually had a couple questions that if he could give via me, if that's all right. He reissued Waking the Fallen, and will you reissue Sounding the Seventh Trumpet? Because you did a lot of work on that. So
it's definitely to be determined. What was really neat about Waking the Fallen is we had come across some of the really early demos, and some of the songs are so different. Some of the songs actually ended up being songs on City of Evil, and so we heard the demos and we thought it was really a pivotal album for us. So it'd be fun for the fans to kind of get an insight to where we were at the time, and hear some of the madness that we're trying to create. But definitely never out of the out of the works to do something with Sounding the Seventh Trumpet. We've kind of neglected that one a little bit. I know we've kind of been anti remixing, remastering, just because we feel like however it was laid down is probably the best way, even with all the little mistakes and stuff. But if we could come across some of the old artwork and early footage and rough demos and stuff, I think it'd be awesome to re-release, just to give our fans that insight.
Oh yeah, to definitely give. I don't know, it's just crazy how much technology changes in even 10 years. So to do that and help quality, I mean, it would be insane, I think.
Definitely, yeah. And showing off some of the demos and stuff, I think fans, it would blow their minds, because it was such a evolution from then until now. So it's definitely something that would probably be in the works in the future.
That would be awesome. And then a question, Little Piece of Heaven, one of my absolute favorite songs, and I have how did that story, how do you think of that story and put that together? I just don't understand. I'm sorry, obviously, you know what I mean, I love the music, so you know what I mean, so there we go. That's my question.
Well, it was basically, the Rev had written this really almost goofy piano and song in its entirety. There was nothing to it besides drums and piano, and we thought it was so much fun that we just kept building on in the studio. And it was originally going to be solely for a Halloween EP, and once it was finished, we're like, we have to put this on the album, even though it's so far out there. And he was like, I have some ideas for lyrics, and at the time I was just messing around. I wrote this 50 song, and it was like a typical 50 song where someone gets in a car crash and dies, but they come back as zombies and fall in love. And the Rev was like, that's exactly what I wanted to do with the lyrics for A Little Piece of Heaven. I wanted to make it about a kind of a zombie love song. And I was like, awesome. So he started writing the lyrics, and obviously they're completely outlandish, and he took it too far and over the top, and we just encouraged it. We were just we're saying horrible things, and we were just trying to go as over the top as we possibly could with it.
But it was perfect. I mean, and if you're not having fun with it, then why?
That's one of the most fun songs to play live, and seeing the cartoon animation that we did for the video and stuff, it's really funny.
Yeah. Was how difficult was Hail to the King to make? I mean, is it maybe the most difficult? Is it? I mean, what was that process like?
Hail to the King was surprisingly in depth as far as writing, because we tried a style that we really hadn't fully tapped into, and that was just simplifying it, really showcasing the drums as a main feature. On all of our albums we usually are over ambitious, and this time it was kind of starting with a bunch of layers and then peeling back to try and simplify it and just make a huge sounding album with tons of personality, but riffs that get stuck in your head, vocal melodies that get stuck in your head. And it was a little bit departure from what we've done, so it was pretty hard. We really worked on it, probably the longest songwriting sessions that we've ever done for an album, because we, instead of just adding layers, we were throwing stuff away, and that's probably one of the hardest things. You really have to stress over what parts aren't quite good enough to be on the album.
Yeah.
But overall, we're really, really happy with the outcome, and those are some of the most fun songs to play live that I think we've ever written.
Yeah. Does this feel like it's kind of heading, the band is heading in a new direction? Is
You know, it's really hard to say, because every time we start writing an album, we get excited about different things, and you never know what those are going to be. This time around, it was super excited about huge drums and showcasing the bass on top of the drums and making it more, you know, straightforward, like heavy rock. But that's not to say that next time around we might, you know, pull out more thrash or neoclassical. I mean, we've already kind of been talking about it, and next time we have a CD, we don't want to make Hail to the King Part 2. We want to definitely do something that's just going to be like, what are these guys thinking? Always keep our fans on their toes, and I think that's the most exciting thing. So next time around, it'll probably be quite a bit different.
Yeah. Oh, but that'll be awesome. Different, fresh, new, makes, you know, it's exciting, at least.
Definitely.
You know, I think so.
Absolutely.
And, yeah. And I guess decade and a half, you know, you've been doing this, and what do you know now that you wish you knew 15 years ago?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's, you know, to be honest.
And I know there's a lot of, well, I wouldn't want to change anything, you know, because then I wouldn't be where I am now. But do you feel there's a piece of advice that would have made something easier?
You know, absolutely. I think it would have been focusing on the songs, and at that point it was putting as much into every song as we could, and anytime somebody wrote anything, we tried to make a spot for it in the song, and just to kind of keep everyone happy. But looking back, it's really important, even if you're really excited about something and you bring it to everyone, everyone's like, you know, that's cool, but maybe it doesn't fit on this song or doesn't fit on this album. And then you know, it's okay to take parts out of songs. Like when we play songs from Waken the Fallen, I think songs like Second Heartbeat, Eternal Rest have some unbelievable parts.
Yeah.
But then there's parts that when we're playing live, I feel like, man, I wish we could have done without this part, because we got like a minute and a half of just something that doesn't fit with the song. And I definitely think we would have looked at like song structure and how we wrote songs different back then. Yeah, I mean, that, and you know, we used to have fun. We used to party a bit and stuff. I'd probably go back and tone it down a little bit, you know, because everyone does get older, and you know, it was definitely fun. But looking back at some of those pictures, you know, someday when I have children or grandchildren, they have to show their friends at school, you know, Zacky Vengeance with tons of eye makeup on and stuff. It certainly wasn't a timeless look, you know. So I think if I could go back, I'd say I'd probably just focus more on the music and less on the image. And
Well, with the image and stage names, I mean, is that something that you wish you hadn't have done?
The stage names, you know, there was definitely a time and a place for it. I don't think it was the most timeless aspect of our band, but I do think we consciously did that to separate ourselves from the pack, because at that time there was a huge resurgence in metal, but not real metal. It was like a metalcore thing. There was bands that would sing a verse and scream a chorus, and kind of evolved and turned into like a screamo thing. And there's a lot of hardcore bands, and we were just trying to separate ourselves, because we were playing Warped Tours, we were opening for any band that would let us. I mean, we were never just like, we're straight metal, we're straight punk rock, we're straight. This was us trying to separate ourselves, you know, having outlandish names, you know, the way that we looked. It was definitely done just to separate ourselves and try and get attention in a sea of, you know, so many bands. And it pissed off a lot of people. People are still to this day think we're the same people, and they, you know, oh, Avenged Sevenfold, those guys look like girls and stuff. It's like, no, this is a time and place. We were young and having fun. But now, you know, we're older, you know, getting a little more gray hairs up top, and we take it seriously. We go out there, put on the best show that we can, try and write the best music we can, and still look, and, you know, I still have a bassist that's about to be 30 years old with a mohawk and neck tattoos and a jacket that looks like he stole it off of a street punk, but other than that, you know, we toned it down a bit.
Yeah. My last question, yes, no, or maybe, will your new drummer get a stage name?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not, just because I feel like if we did, it would be a little forced.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that behind the scenes we give them all sorts of nicknames.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate being able to sit and chat with you, and I wish I could pick your mind more, but I know you've got stuff to do. So
it's a pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
So thank you so much again, Zacky Vengeance from Avenged Sevenfold. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.